Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. All right, well, welcome to the Flagstick Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Botter, and with me, as always, is Scott McLeod.
G'day.
We are very excited to be here with you this week to talk about a great number of things on the podcast, which happens to be sponsored this week by COBRA Golf, the all-new 3D printed irons featuring fully 3D printed club heads. These irons deliver an unmatched blend of feel, forgiveness, and precision, shaping that goes beyond the limits of traditional forged and casting. Experience the future of iron performance and get fit for Cobra's 3D printed irons today. Visit cobragolf.ca for more information and for the full line of COBRA Golf product. Follow us across all our social media networks, of course, Instagram, X, TikTok, and the Facebook. Please subscribe to Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. We really do encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us, click the notification bell, and make sure you never miss a single episode. The Facebook, that comes from that movie, Facebook, where initially the original thing was called The Facebook, and the character played by Justin Timberlake suggested, it was Sean Parker, was suggested that they drop the word "the." So that's where that whole thing comes from. All right,
my Thursday is much richer because you told me.
Well, you know, look, I'm all about providing informative information for the listener, and if you can pick up a little extra knowledge along the way,
sure. Hey, why not?
happy to put it out there for you. All right, this week on the show, of course, we delivered magazines for the first time in 6 years. We're going to talk about that because that's important.
Yeah.
That's primary good stuff right there. Flagstick.com PGA Ottawa Tour gets started for 2026, and we also dig into the announcement that the CPKC Women's Open, the LPGA Tour, is coming back to Ottawa, to the Royal Ottawa Golf Club. And in the back nine, Scott had a chance to sit down with Jodie Jenkins to take a little preview and discussion about Endless Summer, the World-Long Drive event in Pro-Am that is just now a month away. Big event, grown huge. Scott's going to Scott sat down and talked to Jodie. We got that interview for you in the back nine. But as we know, I should say there is no back nine without a front nine, but that's not true because you could play the back nine before the front nine. We are not going to. We are playing the front nine first, and the front nine is presented by Metcalfe Golf Club. A natural setting, a pleasant challenge. It is a great time to think about the golf season ahead, obviously, because we are into it. Game packages for adults, juniors, and families are always available. Be sure to check online for all of the 50th anniversary events. Visit metcalfegolf.com and stay in touch with your golf savings this season. Scotty Mac. Scotty Mac. Let me tell you. Let's kick off this back nine talking about the elephant in the room.
Back nine.
Or front nine. Front nine. See, I'm already jumping into the back
nine already.
What's going on? Yeah, this is what happens when your brain is a little tired. And my brain is a little tired. My body is a little worn down. I have to admit, I physically didn't quite remember the physical toil that 14-hour days take on one's body. But it does, especially when you're, our age, although you're older than I am, so it probably hurt you a little more than me.
Wow.
But we've been talking about the return of Flagstick Magazine, the print version, for quite some time now, and this past weekend that finally happened. I'm sure that people saw it on social media. We posted some pictures of the loaded Flagstick mobile that took off for a long journey over a 2-day stretch. And it was very exciting. It was Probably.
We gotta get you a new word.
I know.
We have to get you.
Why? Exciting is a good word.
I am gonna get you, like I will get you a thesaurus. I will buy you a thesaurus.
Actually,
you know what?
Anybody need a thesaurus for these days? You just Google. Hang on a second. Just a second. Hang on.
I'm gonna make it your swear.
No. We're gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with this.
I'm gonna make it your swear jar.
Another word for exciting.
There's lots of other words.
Okay, here we go. Thrilling, electrifying, riveting, exhilarating.
Any of them.
Okay. It was exhilarating.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Can I be honest with you, Scott?
Well, hopefully.
Okay. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The word exhilarating is an even better word to describe what the last 2 days have been like for me.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So exciting doesn't have anything. It doesn't have any.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring word to describe excitement.
It's a filler word.
Yeah, filler. So exhilarating. But it was it was far more. There was far more to it than I think I anticipated that there was going to be from the standpoint of the reception to it.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many cool things that kind of happened throughout the delivery, and I'm sure you experienced the same thing. A delivery a delivery route that shouldn't take as long.
Yes,
there was
I know exactly where you're.
There were very few stop and goes. Back in the day, like if we go back to the early days, not the earlier days, but if we go back to 2019, 2018, even 2017, when we were delivering, you kind of get into a delivery routine. Everybody expects it's coming,
right?
So you kind of get into a lot of drop and goes. There's always a little bit of conversation that sometimes happens, but a lot of times you're grabbing a bundle out of the vehicle, you're running you're dropping it on the counter, you're filling the rack, and you're leaving because it's got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
But this was not that. There was a number of stops like that because the person in the clubhouse
or whatever
probably wasn't even born when the magazine started.
Yeah, there were some of those.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. The deer in the headlights.
What is this
magazine?
What is this?
I've heard of the website.
I get the newsletter.
It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. But there was a lot of the old guard, if you will, or even the new guard that has been watching the social and waiting for this. That a lot of chatter, a lot of owners course owners and course managers that I deal with from a business standpoint that were around, and that turned into 15-minute conversations.
It's been a while when some of the people that were junior golfers when last delivered are now the head pros at a golf course.
I know. But that's all serious.
I had that at one place, and I was just like, oh, I remember this kid when he was a junior golfer, and now he's the head pro. Huh. Okay.
It's the craziest thing. So on the magazines show up. Now in the old guard there, in the old days, the magazines would show up. The truck would have the truck would come and they'd roll the skids off the back of the truck and drop them down and push them into the garage. Little different this time. Magazines a little bit smaller, quantities a little bit less than it was back then. So I get a phone call from the printer, Dolco Printing, and they're like, look. Our driver is just going to bring them in the van. And I'm thinking, okay. He says, so we'll just bomb them out the back of the van. But I'm like, first of all, we got magazines way early.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is on Sunday. We were not expecting things till Monday. So.
Way early, which never happened.
No, don't remember that.
No. So the driver shows up, backs the van up the garage, and, start bombing them out. My son Brandon comes out of the house. He wants to be involved in this. Like he wants to be. I want to. Get these out. Stack them up.
Who was 14 or 13 the last time the magazine came out?
So he's out there. We're hand bombing and stacking them on skids in the garage and getting them all ready. And that gets done. I'm signing the delivery sheet. Driver leaves. Hey, have a good day, kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm going okay. Let's load the car up and
yeah.
So I'm loading, I'm stacking the magazines in the back of the car, and it's like, and all these memories just start flooding back as I'm doing this. I'm getting the line and get counting as I'm going, and Brandon's putting magazines in the back, and was like, how many was that? And all this, like we're getting the count going, and then okay, let's just check and make sure we got enough there. Scott's gonna pick his up, in the morning, so let's make sure we got what he has got. We got the delivery sheets. Now on video you can see this, but so this is a delivery sheet. These are the delivery sheets that I made up probably back in 1997, and just edited and altered. But, sat up in the gazebo the night before, making the routes, figuring it all out, how many we needed for each one. Scott shows up. We got the delivery sheets. Scott, like, oh my God, the delivery sheets. I remember these. It's just like this flood, and I'm not saying that we got another delivery to do in July. I'm not saying that one is going to have the same.
No, but this is different as far as the impact, because I think there was a lot of cases where it was like, as you said, it was nostalgia. There was obviously some people that, we knew from back in the day, and we maybe hadn't seen them in a while, and some of them were surprised because they didn't, some of them knew, because they either listened to the show or saw social or whatever, and it's not their priority to know or whatever, but some were surprised when all of a sudden the print magazine. I can't say there was anybody who went, "Ooh." There was a lot of people like, "Oh, that's cool," and they also recognized it was the 30th anniversary, and that was significant. Although it was funny because it was like, one place it was mentioned the 30th, and they were like, yeah, ours is in 2 more years. And it's like, I can remember where that golf course opened, and yeah, lots of people that were, as you said, there was people that had never seen it before, obviously new golfers, and people that working at courses. There was obviously people that were super familiar with it, people that were happy to have it back. Heard lots of stories from people that were, oh, I just, like having it in my hands, and it kind of,
that was the big one. Was that not
yeah,
probably the
I did.
biggest?
I had a phone call. I had a phone call from a guy who mentioned that, particularly an ex-pro, and he said, yeah, one of the things he'd liked to always was to have a little bit of an escape, and grab his coffee and grab the magazine and sit, peacefully someplace, and get away from his phone and get away from the digital stuff. And while he knows that serves a purpose in other ways, it was just like an extra treat. So yeah, there was lots of stories like that. It was cool to see a lot of the racks still there.
That was okay.
That was
Yes,
hilarious.
I was gonna. That was my next big thing.
Yeah, and I think, I just quickly, and I'd love to hear. I want to hear what you've got to say about that. But it was so funny because people were almost like guarding them, and yes, in some cases they had some other stuff in them. They had stuff temporarily.
Of course.
The funniest one was, one club they had chosen to put their logo towels in the rack, and as a way to sort of just keep it there and keep it in their shop and whatever,
just in case. Didn't it feel
just
like
in case?
just in
Yeah,
case?
I know. And then someone, I was at one shop, and all of a sudden this lady says, oh yeah, there was somebody just in asking about, the magazine, as if it was just there last week,
Yeah,
and they were waiting for the next issue or whatever. So
it's
yeah,
been 6
go ahead.
years. Like
I know.
it's 6 years.
Yeah. So go ahead. I want to hear.
Oh, it's same kind of thing. The places that had them, that you just like, first one I knew about was Archie's. Carol Ann Baxter. She told me about it when I was out there for the opening of their Top Tracer range. She showed me the magazine was still there in the shop, and she cleared off the top shelf of it, knowing I was coming. So I showed up. She wasn't there. I put the magazines in, and top shelf was clear. Morrisburg Golf Club. They didn't have it out, but the minute I walked in the door, went back to the upstairs to the bar and put the magazines on the counter, and was talking to the lady. She goes, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I'll go get the rack. And I'm like,
like, literally,
go get the rack. You still have it? She goes, oh, we put it down in the basement. We didn't know what to do with it, and we thought maybe maybe the magazines would come back. So she said, I'll go get the rack. We'll get it right back up at the front where it was. And she goes and she rushes off, gets the rack. Renfrew Golf Club, same thing. Had the rack stored. like
Yep.
just all these places. Now, yeah, for me too, a lot of them. The funniest one was Edelweiss. I walk in, the magazine, the rack is full of bridal magazines. And I'm
Okay.
like, nah,
Sure,
top
sure,
shelf,
whatever.
move them down a little
Whatever.
bit, put
Yeah.
Flagstick in the top shelf. But it was funny,
Yeah.
bridal magazines. But
A funny one I did have, and no offense to a certain national magazine, but the staff at the one person, they saw me, they looked over, saw the rack, saw this other magazine that was in there, and they basically went over and like grabbed them and threw them out of there, like almost like, all right, the rightful
the
heir to
rightful
the
owner has
throne
arrived.
is back or whatever like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, so it was yeah, it was cool.
it was so much. It was so interesting to
Mm,
see the the reaction from
mhm,
people that didn't know it was coming. The reaction from those that did know it was coming when I went out to Lombard Glen, and as I'm getting, and everything just comes flooding back as you're doing delivery as to how you did it. The way I pull up in here,
yeah,
out
you
here.
exactly where you used to
Yeah, I
park and
used to
drive
put
it.
it right
Yeah.
here, pop open
Yeah.
the hatch of the vehicle, and Paul Vinecourt comes walking down
Mm,
the laneway from the pro shop, and he's got because he's got the damaged wing right now,
hmm.
and and he's walking out, and he's oh my God, it's finally here, and there's members coming with him, and they're all coming out to the car to get the
That's
bundle
funny.
of magazines, and I'm just like, oh
That's
my
funny.
gosh, this is just
Yeah.
this
Now, as you
and
said, yeah, go ahead. I mean,
no, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
I still had to. I pulled into one place and I went in, and the girl at the counter was probably, I'd say 18.
Yeah, no
So
clue.
no clue, no clue. They just like deer in the headlights looking at it. And then it took a member that was kind of in the shop.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, and right away, and as soon as his recognition was there, then she's like, oh, okay, like, because obviously it was just a foreign thing, like, oh, what is
Yeah.
this, and why are you dropping this off here or whatever, and you're mindful of that. You're mindful of the fact that the print magazine hasn't been there, and you can't. It's just like we talk about when you're educating new golfers now. There's so many new golfers. Well, there's so many new people, from a staff wise and in the industry wise that you know have to be reintroduced, right? But in most cases, that wasn't the case. It was a case of,
It was old
well,
home week.
well, yeah, it was old home week. It definitely was old home week. So a lot of great conversations for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think there's always been a connection there. There's been that connection through the podcast, through social media, through the website, and so forth. So that hasn't gone. It's the personal connections.
It's different. It's so
Yeah,
much
it's
different.
different.
Like all of
Yeah,
this stuff that we do on digital, all this, the podcast, the social media, all of those, that communication, all of that stuff has been so awesome for the business and for the brand. But there
sure.
is there is the magazine.
Hmm.
There's just something about it that engages the community when you're right there, and it's in their hand, and it's just
But
something about tangibility. That
yeah,
is that a word?
yes, it's
That's a
tangible.
cool word. I almost like that one more than exhilarating.
So the thing is that we're in an era where a lot of the print things have gone away. So
Hmm.
that adds a little bit to it, on top of the nostalgia and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people, and we talked about this as far as um you know the people having fatigue in some ways because there's so much stuff that's out there that's just crap and
That's a
slop.
great word to use for it. It
And,
really is.
and I think there's an authenticness to it, and the fact that one of the first posts I saw online for somebody Facebook, it's like, oh, okay, it was a great read, it was great to be back or whatever like that, because they just weren't open their computer, and they flip open the Facebook and they see
Thank you for
47
that.
posts 47 posts that they're not interested in, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, and they flip it back off. Whereas this, they knew, they picked it up, flip it open, they can start reading, they can start, one, they're not paying for it as well, but they start reading it. And thank you to all the supporters and marketing partners and stuff, because obviously this would not have happened, kind of without them. But But the fact that they can just open it and know what they're going to see in the next, 48 pages is something that's legitimate.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a good word to use for it because, and you mentioned the idea about the inboxes and the crap that everybody gets, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of
Yep,
quality stuff obviously that comes
for
into
sure.
our
Yeah,
inboxes, but there
but
is more crap than there
it's
is.
harder to filter it out, right?
Exactly. When it
Yeah.
comes to the magazine, it comes to that print magazine,
Hmm.
you almost feel a sense of relief that you're going to grab something, you're going to open up, start reading it, and there's going to be some good quality stuff in there
Sure.
because it's not crap. It
No, and
costs a lot of
and
money to produce that
yes,
magazine.
and
So
everything is relevant,
yeah,
right?
nobody's going
Yeah.
to waste, no business person is going to waste as much money as it costs to print a magazine these days, um,
Hmm.
filling it with crap that they know people are
Sure.
going to skim over and is not going to get read.
Yeah.
It's a waste of money and a waste of time. So
Sure.
you can be assured that at this point, we used to do 6 editions. I mean, at our peak when we were doing Flagstick, we were 7 editions of
Hmm.
Flagstick a year, 6 in season, 1 winter.
Hmm.
And we had 3 issues, 3 women's issues, and we
Hmm.
had a Stroke Savers publication
Hmm.
that we put out with instruction. That was at our peak. At
Hmm.
our peak, we were
And a travel.
producing,
We did a travel
but
one
we
as
did
well.
golf travel. So at our peak, we were doing 12 to 13
Yeah.
editions of
Yeah.
Flagstick related print magazines.
Yeah.
Um, we're now doing 3, and everybody should. I feel like everybody should be given a second chance at something in life. And I feel like COVID, when COVID hit, COVID was the massive punch in the gut
Hmm.
that nobody saw coming, and not just our business. Lots of businesses
Oh
were
yeah.
were hit hard by that. So when I talk about how hard it hit us, I'm being a little selfish in that respect, but I'm
Hmm.
talking about
Yeah.
Flagstick. So I'm not,
Yeah.
lots of businesses were hit, lots of businesses
Yeah.
shut
Some
down because of it. We
disappeared.
didn't.
Yeah.
We pivoted a little bit. We pivoted into something that I didn't particularly wasn't particularly excited about pivoting into,
Hmm.
because this is what I created. So I didn't want to not do it.
Hmm.
I didn't want to go and do all website and digital stuff. I knew we had to,
Hmm.
to keep that flow of information going, to keep revenue coming in, to keep the business going, and things like that. So to come back and do this now, it's just it's getting a second chance at something to prove that it actually is still viable, that people still want to see it. But you're also given an opportunity to correct the mistakes that you might have felt you've been making for that first 25 years. So the things that, oh yeah, well, this didn't go the way it should have went, but there's nothing I can do about it now. We're
Mm.
already into it. We got to keep going. Well,
Mm.
that reset, it was like just kind of pushing the reset button a little bit and saying, okay, boom, it's gone. There's nothing you can do about it. But now I got a chance to bring it back. But when I bring
Hmm.
it back, I'm looking back at, okay, that wasn't working 5 years ago or 6 years ago when we last published. So let's not do that again.
Hmm.
Let's not reset exactly what we did in 2020. Let's
Hmm.
learn from
Refresh.
that and
Yeah.
move forward. So,
Yeah.
and that's where we're at. Now we're doing less issues a year. We're doing a little lower page count because you have other avenues for information. You don't
Right.
need to put it all in print.
Correct.
So that's where we're at. Anything else, Scott, that like for you
No, I
that
mean,
that
I think we're going to continue to talk about it or whatever, but I mean, I think just, just overall, just seeing people having conversations. I think the one I made note on X, Twitter, one of the things that I saw that I was really pleased about, and it's weird because when you have that gap in time, it really lets you see things grow a little
Mhm.
bit and move differently. It's like watching a kid grow up. When things
Yeah.
kids grow up, you don't watch them change as much, or you don't notice the change as much. One of the cool things that I really liked and enjoyed seeing was how many more women, particularly young women, were working at the golf courses
Yeah.
in various different capacities, pro shop, on the grounds crews, just like it was kind of refreshing to sort
I
of
noticed
see
it on
that.
the grounds cruise probably more
Yeah,
than I ever noticed it
yeah,
before. Pro shop,
yeah,
I always seem to see a lot of
yeah, but
younger
there
girls
was,
working in the pro shops,
yeah,
like teenagers and stuff. But
yeah,
on the grounds cruise was crazy.
yeah.
I
And
saw
I thought
one
it was,
mower using a fairway mower, like
I
the
thought.
big like triplac. Like it was crazy at Renfrew. She was on.
I mean, I think it was just cool to see how the industry has changed that way, and that there has been that
Mhm.
progression, and the fact that, and I talked to a couple of the uh, couple of the ladies that were working or whatever, and I just, them talking about how they're carving out their experience in golf, and that's cool because, as we know, there's it just needed diversification. So it was great to see. So that was one of the other things. I mean, there's a million things more, and I'm sure we'll talk about them more in the next few weeks or whatever. But yeah, it was definitely insightful, definitely interesting. And I know, it obviously spurred some thoughts as far as content and stuff like that. And I think we'll see that play out a little bit more. And,
Isn't that
we'll
what what part of it was all about back in the day? Like that's the
always,
thing
yeah,
that I noticed. It's like you see
stuff that's going on.
sometimes
Yeah,
people don't tell you,
right.
and you can't be expected to know.
Yeah.
And not doing the print magazine when you took away the delivery
Hmm.
of the magazine, that's the part that changed. It's not the coverage.
Mm-mm.
Yes, we
It's
cover less tournaments than
it's
we did
it's the
back
it's
then.
the
Things are
information gathering.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that 2 or 3 days of delivery was an
Yeah.
opportunity to see things for yourself that you didn't have the opportunity to know about because not
Hmm.
everything floods through your inbox and
No.
to your desk that happens out there. But then when you're
Yeah.
there, you
Hmm.
see it happening.
Well,
You see
yeah.
the work on the golf course. You're like, what are
Yeah.
they doing out there? So then you ask in the pro shop, you
Yeah, and
know?
the other side of it too is not even just stuff you see. It's in those conversations, they're projecting ahead. There's stuff that they're not going to share online that they're working on for
Yeah.
projects and stuff. But when you're sitting and having conversations, they're telling you because they trust us. Obviously, we've
Hmm.
been in the business a long time, and we tend to hold a lot of secrets for quite some time sometimes. And as a result of it, they're telling you about their projects and things that they're trying to work on for the next year, and budgets and changes and stuff like that. And yeah,
Absolutely.
that sort of sets the table for stories for the future.
Yeah, no, it was definitely an eye-opening delivery for me. Um, I know I did a little bit more of it this time than I normally do
Yeah.
when we're doing delivery, and you know what? I was totally fine with it. It was exhilarating. Um, Now I see I can't overuse that word because I'm gonna. Where's my thing? It was thrilling. It was thrilling to be out there. I had a chance to have a great chat with the owner at Mountain Creek, Josh.
Yeah.
Super
He's
young
doing,
guy. Apparently,
yeah.
he's got to be the
Doing,
youngest golf course
oh
owner
yeah.
in North America.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
has to
But
be.
but the thing is he looks extra young too on top of that.
Yes, he
But
does.
he's
I
doing cool stuff.
didn't
So
know it's
yeah.
the first time I'd met him.
Okay.
And had a great chat with. He like immediately like runs down to the basement to see if he can find the rack because he thinks it's down there, and
Yeah.
he's down there for like had to be down there for 15 minutes. And I'm in the clubhouse, and I'm like, is he coming back? Like, and then he comes back up. He goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I can't find it. And
Yeah.
I'll find it. Don't worry, I'll find it." I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Okay,
yeah.
it's okay, Josh. Relax. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not
That's
the end
cool
of the
though.
world." But
Yeah.
super excitable guy, very
Yeah.
passionate about what they're doing out there.
Yeah,
And I
got a
haven't been
great
out to Mountain
projects.
Creek in ages, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Oh
Like,
yeah, because that's usually on my route. So you
yes.
wouldn't have been out there. Yeah, but
So
obviously they've got the range going on and yeah, all
yeah,
sorts of stuff. So
so
yeah.
much cool stuff going on, and I got
Yeah.
lost a couple times, which is kind of interesting because there used to be some roads, some back. So I don't know. You remember this? You're coming from Dragon. I think it's from Dragonfly or Cobden,
Yeah.
and then you're coming back into town, and you're going to go to Armprior, and
Yeah.
there's a side road that goes off
Yeah.
of 17. It's a
Yep.
back road that comes into the
Yep.
back of the golf course. Well,
Yep.
that's an overpass now. So I'm
It's,
like driving down there. I'm going, I don't know. I can't.
hey, old timer.
So now when you go off, I'm like, I gotta, I didn't think I'd have
Yeah.
to do this, but I gotta GPS this. So I GPS it, and it's showing me you got to go right on 508 to Calabogie. I'm like, why do I need to go right when I know I have to go left? So I turned left a little earlier, thinking, oh, this must be it, and it loops me all the way back around to 17. And I'm like, and then I see the overpass. And I'm like, okay, right to Calabogie on 508 is the off ramp. which is right, and then you go over the
Yeah,
overpass,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
is the back road that
Yeah.
goes to uh,
Yeah.
or
I
Sandpoint.
will I
Sorry.
will say I did find a couple of extra roads and sort of the same sort of thing.
It's
So yeah.
crazy because it
Yeah.
was such ingrained in our brains back
Yes.
then. It was like Groundhog Day, if you will, a little
Yeah.
bit doing delivery. You just knew where to
What the road
go.
was. Yeah. You don't
Um,
even think about it.
and now these roads are changing and overpasses and off ramps. I'm like, where am I going? What am I doing here?
You
You know, and the
sound like
steep
you're a
hills. I've
hundred.
forgotten how steep the hills were up in the Upper Valley, and then Gatineau up by Edelweiss and Mont Cascade, and that back road coming off of to Mont Cascade, the back end route
Oh,
in. It's
yeah.
like, oh my God, the road's worse than it was when I did this in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right. Well, we kind of ate through the front nine on that.
All
I knew
good.
we
All
would.
good.
I knew
Yeah.
we would, but we'll just before we get out of the front nine, just want to make mention. Flagstick.com PGA of Ottawa tour gets started next week with the Spring Open at Castleview Golf and Country Club. It is the first event on the tour and is a um, um, modified Stableford point system event, which is
Yep.
awesome for a spring tournament. It's awesome for any tournament.
Especially for this guy who's only
Yeah,
played
someone who's
57 holes.
you'll be fine. You might win. So that's at Castleview Golf and Country
Yeah.
Club, just up the road from me here, about 25 minutes up the road. And then hopefully you and I will be on site the next day shooting video for the Flagstick Academy series on YouTube that is also presented by Castleview Golf and Country Club. And hopefully we get a good day for that. And we got some pictures to do for the next edition of the magazine for the instruction feature. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Live scoring for that event will be available at Golf Genius app using the code Spring Open 26. So if you want to follow how well Scott's doing.
Oh, great. No pressure.
Before we get out to, we're going to talk about this a ton between now and next year. But the LPGA Tour announced that the CPKC Women's Open is returning to the Ottawa area, this time back at the Royal Ottawa Golf and Country Club over in Gatineau, Quebec. Super, super happy to have this event back here. We know how great it was when it was at the Hunt Club, and Royal Ottawa is an awesome golf course for them to play.
One of those things we've been sitting on for quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's out there now. We have the information up on flagstick.com. We will talk about this a ton more between now. There's a lot of stuff related to the CPKC and the LPGA being in Ottawa that there is to talk about, but we're going to need a lot more than 1 minute and 30 seconds to go over it all. So we'll leave it at that. With that, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to the interview that Scott did with Jodie Jenkins. We're going to play that for you. You can have a listen at that, and then we'll have a quick discussion about it, and then we'll get out and go about our day. I do have 2 more stops to make, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but I left them on purpose. So,
okay.
All right. There you go. Stay with us. We will be right back here on the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod.
The future isn't forged, it's printed. We've combined 3D printing and state-of-the-art engineering to revolutionize how golf clubs are made. Our internal lattice saves an incredible amount of weight and moves it where it matters most. Irons with unmatched feel, forgiveness, and precision, all engineered into a compact player's shape. Performance only possible with 3D printing. Only possible with COBRA Golf.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Flagstick Podcast with Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. I hope you enjoyed that front nine. That was quite invigorating to discuss the relaunch of the magazine.
You're working your way through your word list now.
I got the thesaurus. Awesome. You said thesaurus, so I googled.
I created a monster.
Thesaurus.com. So I'm just gonna go crazy now.
I like it.
But there's a lot, and there'll be a lot of discussions here and there. But it was nice to just kind of talk it through because there's a lot of pent up energy from that whole experience of delivery and stuff again. So, all right,
Cool.
let's get to our back nine. Back nine is presented, of course, by Falcon Ridge Golf Club with 27 holes of fun and challenging golf at great rates. Falcon Ridge Golf Club is a golfing experience that you should not miss. And don't forget, Falcon Ridge has built the first TrackMan range facility in Eastern Ontario. TrackMan range is all about exciting, easy-to-use features that provide the ultimate range experience. Easy to use features that provide the ultimate range experience for every golfer at every level, in fact. That's practice games and virtual golf. To book your tee times or one of the 10 TrackMan bays, visit falconridgegolf.ca. Okay, so we promised you an interview. Scott had a chance to sit down with Jodie Jenkins from Endless Summers, a long drive competition in Pro-Am that takes place up in Belleville. Scott, why don't you set this interview up for us, and then we'll get right to it.
Yeah, you pretty much hit it there. Jodie Jenkins, obviously, the man behind Endless Summer, which is running for 5 years, going back to a Pro-Am that he started 10 years ago that we've been, kind of supporting and involved in. Some of the best or the best long hitters in the world are coming to Belleville just a month from now. And obviously, we took the time to catch up with Jodie just to see kind of what the vibe is, let people know more about this event and why they should be getting a ticket right away.
All right, so without further ado, here's the interview with Scott and Jodie Jenkins from Endless Summer right here on the Flagstick Podcast.
All right, we're going to welcome back to the podcast Jodie Jenkins of the Zeke Agency and Endless Summer. This event has continued to grow and has become an absolute monster. We're happy to be a media partner this year, and I dropped by the Trillium Wood Golf Club, which will be hosting it this year, just yesterday, and man, it is primed and ready to go. Welcome back to the show, Jodie.
Yeah, it's always great to be on the show, Scott, and I appreciate, as you mentioned, being a media partner, Flagstick. Yourself and Jeff have been nothing but supportive over, I guess, for 10 years now of doing this charity event.
It's
5 years as Endless Summer, but yeah, it's been a cool ride. So,
well, we're less than a month out now. I mean, the clock is ticking, so your heart rate must be ticking. So, how are the preparations going for this year?
yeah, it's there's a lot, obviously. For me, my biggest thing now is making sure that we stay on the hitters and we keep recruiting. We're going to be close to 50 long drivers in the men's division. We've got a smaller pool of women this year, which is understandable. It's just the way that side of the sport is going, but we're going to have some great ladies there as well. But overall, the event kind of takes care of itself in a bunch of ways because we've had such a good good template and formula over the first 4 years. So it's a lot of work. It's coming together nicely, but we got a great team, and I certainly wouldn't be able to do it with the people that are around me for this. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. There's pretty much a big groundswell, and noting even on the website how many supporters there are, and from a corporate standpoint now, I hear more people talking about it. I hear more people going, "Man, I got to make it down to Belleville," and still. This is happening in Belleville. That's what I still hear that. You've got this world-class event. Tell us a little bit about some of the hitters that are coming. I know you've obviously shared that a fair bit on your social media, which I would encourage everyone to go and follow. But can you give us a little bit of an insight on the lineup?
Yeah, so we have a strong, we'll start with Canada. We got a strong Canadian presence, and I would say it's headlined by Ryan Gregnall, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. I mean, obviously, besides Mr. Zubak, of course, and Jamie Sedlowski, but Ryan Gregnall, I think the guy's made, oh my gosh, it's got to be 5-6 straight top 16s, top 8s in the world. I think it's top 16, but like when he shows up at an event that matters, he's going to be in the fight. He's going to be in the discussion near the end. We got Cody Billinghurst, guys like TJ Baker, Matt Kindu. So we're excited for the Canadian crew. We have a great U.S. presence. I'd say probably top line on that one would be Justin James, who is an absolute beast, not only in long drive, but also in golf. And then we have, we have such a long list. I know I'd be leaving people out, but I got to mention Colton Casto, former world number one. I just won the event down in Florida. I think he doubled up there. They had 2 events, and I think he won both of them. But this guy is just a beast. I always love telling this story. For anyone that knows Trillium, and I might have shared it here before, Scott, but this is a great story about Colton. The first year he was with us in 2021, 21-ish or 22. We were on hole 17 was a qualifying hole at Trillium. So if you're familiar with that hole, it's a par 4. It's about 429 yards from the back tees, and it goes along the water there in between 16 and 17. So anyway, he's on the back tees. The pros hit from the back tees, the qualifying. We were downwind. He hit his ball over the green on 17.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's like that's when we knew that hole 17 wouldn't be a good qualifying hole moving forward. So we changed that. But yeah, so and then we have our first hitters coming from Thailand, Joe Takuchi. We've got Daryl Lim, who's from Singapore. So we have a great Asian presence, which continues to grow. And I'm always, again, you mentioned it's in Belleville. Like, I'm always amazed that people from those areas of the world are flying over here into Toronto or into Buffalo, whatever, and coming to Belleville, right? Like, it's like, really? It's kind of interesting. So, and I will say this, in the Asian community, and you know this too, like, they take great pride in representing their countries, whether it's 100%. Japan, China, like, it's a big thing. Like, so these guys are coming to, they're not coming to just play around. They want to do well and be able to represent their country. One of the biggest things I'm most proud of this year is our European contingent, which has steadily grown as well. And this year we're welcoming Bry Roberts, Aaron Lenny, Billy Truman, and Luke, is it Luke Curtis? I can't even think of anyway, I'll have to get that other name, but 4 of the best long drivers in Europe are coming over for the event this year. And we're pumped about that. And then we're, of course, welcoming Kelly Rudney. She's the current world champion on the women's side, current defending Endless Summer champion. So top to bottom, a wonderful field. And I will say this too. Some of people might be saying, well, I've never heard of some of these people. And that's entirely possible. You don't know what it's like until, this is what happens all the time. People come and I hear this, Jodie, I didn't know what to expect, but it was unbelievable. You know, you got hitting under the lights, you've got larger than life characters, you've got golf, you've got food, you've got live DJs, you got wonderful outdoor summer weather. Like, it is a combination for 2 days of absolute energy. It's a vibe that you just can't miss. I mean, you've been there, you've seen it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like a festival. And I think we'll backtrack a little bit here because, you know, some people may not be fully familiar. So why don't you just give us the straight details as far as, you know, the date, the overall, you know, things that are happening as far as the event, right from the, you know, the military hitters event all the way through to the big final under the lights.
Yeah. So Thursday, June 25th at Trillium Wood, double elimination qualifying for the men's division starts around noon. So people can purchase tickets and come and watch that. And we'll talk about tickets after, but you can come and watch that, sit in the stands, enjoy some hitting. That night at 7:00, we are doing the Canadian Military Long Drive Championship. And that's another exciting feature that's grown as well. Last year, we featured Ontario and Quebec. We partnered with 8 Wing Trenton, which is right beside us here in Quinte West. This year, they were so impressed and loved it so much, they've expanded it across the whole Canadian Armed Forces. So they're bringing representatives from the 4 regions of the country to compete in this event, men and women. So that's happening on Thursday night, 7:00. And then Friday, we have 2 pro-ams, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Again, if you're a spectator that has a ticket, you can come follow along and watch. It's fun. Follow along the teams, watch pick your hitter that you like. And then Friday night, June 26th, under the lights, starting roughly 7:45, 8-ish, we're going to get down to business with the final hitters in the men's and women's division. And of course, that'll go till we crown a champion. And usually that's done by about 10-ish, 10:30. But again, live music, outdoor. You know, we've always been fortunate with good weather, so we're hoping that's going to be the case again this year. But yeah, Thursday, June 25th, 26th, Trillium Wood Golf Club. It's great. Tickets get you into both days too. So
yeah, which is awesome. And I'll reiterate what you said there about the Pro-Am. I know I followed a couple of groups a couple of years ago, and it's fun because if you're a golfer and if you played Trillium before, or, you know, played any before, and you go and watch, like you said, a 429-yard hole, and you see where these hitters hit the ball, it will just change your whole perspective of what the sport is about. And it's just fun. It'll make you giggle because you'll see some of the yardages and they're just wild.
100%. Like, you think about like number 10, like they're waiting for the green to clear.
Yeah.
Number three, they're waiting for the green to clear. 15, 4, they're waiting for the green to clear. It's like,
it's wild.
And it's not it's not out of the realm of impossibility for these guys to put the ball on the green, and
Yeah.
it's just wild to see it
Yeah.
in person. So
Yeah, and that's the fun thing too. I think as you mentioned, as far as what the hitters are like. I mean, this is a sport where they realize that in some cases they are characters. They're obviously world-class athletes. They know they're it's an entertainment product. So as a result of it, a lot of their personalities align with that as well. And you see that, and I know you have a fondness for your wrestling background, and seeing that this I sort of equate it. It's like that athleticism, but entertainment. And these hitters are super engaging as well. I mean, that's the other side of it. There's theatrics going on during the hitting, during the pro-am stuff. Again, you wouldn't normally see always on a golf course, and it just makes it just different, fun, engaging, especially for even younger golfers. That's fun for them to watch as well.
Yes, and that's the one thing we found too, is that we're really starting to see younger, like, families and kids show up at the event, this year's event is completely family friendly. So we're encouraging people to bring their kids, and like 13 and under for tickets, I believe, is no charge. So anyway, but yes, the characters, larger than life personalities, and that's what I've always kind of keyed in on too, is like the men and women that are competing, for the most part, I'd say the majority of them are large athletic individuals. They're not
Hmm.
small by any stretch,
No.
including the women. So to see that up close and personal, and then pair that with, embracing a character, whether it's, the good guy, the bad guy,
Sure.
as in
Yeah.
wrestling, it just adds to that element. And then you put in, this year we're also making a concerted push in terms of the entrances and the introductions. Like, we did that a bit last year, but we're taking it to another level this year. So
Nice.
because at the end of the day, it's the fan experience, right? Sure, they're hitting long drives, and yes, that's impressive, but we have to capture the fans' interest and keep them locked in to watch this. And so there's storylines, there's stuff going on, like, so it's going to be a blast. And I can't stress enough, if you're sitting there going, well, but I'm not golfing in it. All right. I mean, if you like golf, you should come. If you
Yeah.
don't like golf, you should come. If you like music, you should come.
Yeah.
If you like being entertained, you should come, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
like the gladiators, and are you not entertained?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah, and it's not every day that you get like a world-class event that's coming to your neighborhood. You make the reference obviously to Belleville, but we see people traveling here from around the world as competitors, but we're seeing more and more people travel to the event as spectators as well. I mean, I've already talked to a number of people from Ottawa towards Montreal, Toronto, that have this on their calendar, and certainly it's worth it as far as the time to travel down there and be entertained.
yeah, it's not a long drive at all from, you mentioned Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto. I mean, we're right in the middle of all those
Yeah.
places. Definitely worth it. Obviously, we're seeing an increase in terms of even an hour radius, whether it's Kingston, Cobourg, the county up north and stuff, Campbellford, those areas. But yeah, it's an event that has to be seen in person,
Mm.
and I can guarantee that you will not walk away going, well, that was kind of boring.
Yeah, no, that's always the case for sure. So, question for you, and I know this one could be difficult because it's like picking out your favorite kid, and I know you're a dad, so this is hard to do. But what's your key element that you really love about this event? What's the part of it that you look forward to the most, and has that changed over the years?
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, I love the energy of just seeing people come and enjoying it. Like, that's what I like. For me, those 2 days are typically a blur. Like,
Yeah, of
honestly,
course.
like,
Yeah.
I'm done, like Friday night rolls around and I'm just like, whoa, what just happened? Right. But I kind of lock in and just do what I do. We've made some changes this year in terms of like support from outside, because again, like I've said, like, it's literally been like 3 or 4 person team that's kind of pulled this off with a bunch of volunteers. But this year we have some other supports. But I love seeing people enjoy themselves. I love hearing people say that was amazing. Can't wait to do it again. And I mean, when you consider, like, we have 52 pro-am teams, like, I can tell you right now that almost 90% of those teams, they just say they're coming back every year.
Yeah.
All our sponsors, with the exceptions of new ones that come on, they all come back year after year. So it's just a testament to what we're putting out there. And the other part I like is I like watching the hitters. I like watching the hitters come out on the tee block, because a
Hmm.
lot of them, A, have never hit in front of a big crowd,
Right.
B, have never hit under the lights, and C, have never been introduced and kind of platformed in that way. So they
Yeah.
see their eyes, they're just like, holy smokes, I've never experienced this, right?
Yeah, it's more like the pinnacle of what they would expect from the sport. As somebody who participated in long drive many, many, many years ago, and I can remember, being there with just the other competitors, and basically it's a field and, some friends, and that's about
Yeah.
it. There might be some music, that's about it. This is a whole different arena, and as people know, when they go to live sporting events, that crowd energy adds so much to the element of it, not only for the spectators, but for the competitors as well. And it just builds on itself. And as you said, it's exciting. And when everybody's all of a sudden, they have to get this big hit, is it inbounds? Is it out of bounds? You see it take off into that night sky. You hear the oohs and ahs, and it sort of just ramps up as people realize, the competition is getting closer and closer to, people holding up trophies, right?
Yeah. And like you said, like in any sport, feeding off the crowd, feeding off your audience is key. Like we've all heard the analogies of hockey teams that are in front of a dead audience, meaning
Yeah,
like there's no action, no
sure.
sound, and it drains you, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a group that's right into what you're doing, you can feed off that, and that's what we see. And so it's exciting to see it, and yeah, I'm pumped. I can't, it's still just under a month away, but I can't wait to get there. So.
Yeah, it is exciting that way. So, can you give us a highlight of, you mentioned live music, any special DJs or anything this year that are taking part?
DJ Jay Ferguson, the guy who's done it from day one. We've had
Yeah.
Channel 9 there as well. Yeah, but Jay's going to be handling everything this year. He's a legend, like locally and abroad. Like he's done a lot of spinning in Toronto area as well, but he knows his stuff. And I trust him with it. Like, because you got to have someone that can actually feed. Again, you talk about feeding off the crowd. You got to have someone that can read the crowd
Read the
and
crowd.
see yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like I'm going back to I'm dating myself, but going back to my old AJ's DJing days back in downtown Kingston when we
Wow.
were always told by management, be like, okay, why these people are getting quiet, move them off the dance floor, get something else going, So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you got to know how to do that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
live DJ for 2 days. So it's
yeah.
it's great.
And I think that's one of the things when you go, and I mean, you get in there and you feel that sort of energy, and it's not just, there's a lot of places or events that are sort of dull, but this event seems to be hopping the whole time you're there. And as you said, you read the crowd and you know how to kind of keep it going and keep it going. And, especially when it comes to that last night, it just, I don't know, it continues to build all the way through. And like you said, by the time you get done, you're just like going, oh, can I have more, please?
Yeah. There's no downtime over the two
No,
days.
no.
Even as you say that, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you're right. And I think that is because the music never stops, right?
Yes.
So it's like there's always stuff going on. There's always people around. There's always some sort of action. But yeah, you're right. Once Friday night, the second night rolls around and it's over, you're just like, well, I got to do something now. What am I going to do?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, everybody, let's go to the club.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how do people get tickets? How do they connect for more information? How does that go?
Yeah, so very, very simple. Endlesssummergolf.ca. All the details are on that landing page. There's a link to the tickets. There's an outline of the agenda for those that hold tickets. If you are one of those people that waits till the last minute, which a lot of people do,
Mm.
you'll be able to show up, scan the QR code, or just pay at the gate. But yes, I would just encourage you, endlesssummergolf.ca, and we would love to see you there. And I will also say this: $5 from every ticket goes to Gleaners Food Bank, which is a local food bank, and the Trenton Military Family Resource Center, which supports families that are, being deployed. Obviously, our military men and women and those that serve. So great charities, and it's a way to give back to the community, and we'd love to see you there. And yeah, we appreciate the support from everybody, including Flagstick, obviously. So.
Yeah, it's a world-class event, but it's also community-oriented, which makes it fantastic, especially for, everything going on in the world in Eastern Ontario. So, thanks again for doing this. Looking forward to it. We'll see you in under a month, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that, Scott, and all the best, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Well, Jodie is certainly a very exciting guy to listen to. He's pretty.
Put that on purpose, you bugger.
Um, He is.
Yeah, he's definitely enthused and
Yeah, he's very
certifiably,
enthusiastic about what he's been doing.
yeah,
And I haven't had as many opportunities to talk to Jodie face to face, obviously, as you have, being up that way and
yep.
having been to the event. Missed the chance to speak to him at the Golf Expo down here in Ottawa. We've had a couple conversations on the phone, but what he's built there is something special, that's for sure.
Yeah. I like one of the greatest things about it is just the evolution of it. I mean, it was a big dream at the start, and the fact that he could put it together in the first place was amazing. And now that it's grown to the level that it has, and like I said, seeing him transform it, looking at how they can make it more family friendly, how they can make it attract different people, leaning into the entertainment aspect of it, but still having that golf, element to it. And I think that growth is, one, it's natural, but it's also, just wise of him and smart that they keep doing that. And that's part of the reason why, it's growing and growing. And as we mentioned in the interview, the fact that it's happening in little old Belleville,
Yeah.
it's still hard to believe. So really looking forward to that. And obviously be talking to him a bit more as we head into the event a month from now. But certainly for people, grab a ticket while you can, and get a seat in those grandstands for whichever part that you want to kind of take in, but especially for that the last event to cap it off under the lights and seeing the biggest hitters in the world just launch that golf ball down that fairway.
Well, I know. I mean, it's funny for having been up close and personal to a long drive
Yeah, you went to the
competition
World Long
before.
Drive. Yep.
We went
Yep.
to the Worlds
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Super cold that night, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was a couple days before I actually warmed up, but just the whole atmosphere that they create, the music, the announcers, the lights, the whole show, the spectacle.
Yes.
I'm telling you, people, we don't have anything like that. It'd be great to have, a National Capital Long Drive competition. That'd be awesome. Maybe someday there will be. But if you want to see the long hitters,
Yeah, best in the
pump
world.
the ball. These are the best in the world. We're not talking about a bunch of local people. Like we're not talking your buddy that hits it, 290 that thinks he hits it 360. These are the best in the world.
Yeah.
You got to go to Endless Summer.
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
And it's a big event too. So you don't have to just go and
No, and as he mentioned in the interview, one of the other things that you can do is you can go and watch the Pro-Am, and the Pro-Am has a hitter in every group, and you can follow your favorite one and watch how they take apart this golf course, and how they hit golf balls into spots that you wouldn't expect, and especially. That's especially cool if you've ever played Trillium before, and then you go and you're like, I didn't
even know you could hit it there.
Yeah, I didn't see that line.
Or I'm usually hitting my third shot from here.
Yeah, exactly. So and the ticket includes kind of everything. So yeah, it's all good.
All right. So there you go. All right. Check that out.
You got 2 more deliveries, you said.
I got 2 more deliveries. Yeah, I kind of just so the nature of the beast is that when you chit chat, it makes the delivery time take longer. So when you think I'm going to start at such and such a time, it's probably going to take me this much time to loop back around here and then go over here. I kind of underestimated 2 things. I underestimated number 1. I should have done the Quebec portion of my delivery Tuesday. I should have done it first. Because when you're crossing the bridge over into Quebec, when you do it in the morning, you're going against the traffic, which means that there is no traffic.
Right.
When you're crossing over there at 4:00 in the afternoon, you're going with traffic back across, which means everybody is going home from work. So that I had no choice at that point. I knew once I'd started up the Upper Valley, I'm like, oh gosh, I did this wrong. I should have done this route in reverse, and finished coming back from the Upper Valley, because there's literally no traffic coming back from the Upper Valley in the afternoon, you just, it's all
Yeah,
back roads.
it's the urban areas where you have to plan.
Yeah, so I kind of underestimated that and ended up getting stuck on the Island Park Bridge there for probably about 40 minutes just to get over to Royal Ottawa to start delivery. So that meant that when I finished at Montcascade, the next stop would be Le Sorcier, and then Tecumseh, and then across the bridge. But it was late, and there was no way I was getting up to Le Sorcier because I had to double back up to 148, and it would have been super dark. And I'm like, okay, I'll go up and see Guy later in the week, and I'll take his bundles up when I go. So this afternoon, after I get done with the podcast,
hopefully you're bringing your clubs.
What's that?
Hopefully you're bringing your clubs.
I'm not. But
I miss that golf course. I haven't played that since the Pro a number of years ago. So
I haven't played it in a long time. I've been up there a couple of times to see Guy, but I haven't. Guy Beaulieu, by the way, is the general manager, part owner of the facility. So I do get to see Guy maybe once a year. So I'm hoping to get up there. I'll hand deliver his bundle of magazines directly to his office.
There you go.
And then I'll do Tecumseh. So I got 2 stops left to make, and I'll get those done.
There you go.
Right after we're done here.
There you go.
Which is Thursday.
Your clubs. Take your clubs.
I'm not taking my clubs.
Take your clubs.
No. I am hoping to maybe play golf tonight, but we'll see. It's supposed to. I heard it might be raining on Friday. Tomorrow, today, if you're listening to the podcast on Friday,
I think I have to get some golf in. I don't really.
Yeah, you might want to. What time do the tee times start on?
I don't have it confirmed yet. I assume it'll be kind of midday is when they usually go.
Okay. Is it a shotgun?
I don't. I haven't.
Do you know what time you tee off?
I haven't even got it.
What in the hell is happening?
I haven't checked the Golf Genius today, so. I know preparation stuff. I will say I did do some scanning last night, and I did go through Google Earth and going through the scorecard and kind of. I haven't played the golf course in ages, and I'm a senior, so I get to play a little bit forward. So that takes some planning around there.
Senior.
Okay, look, I will take the advantage.
Just hit driver.
Yeah, right.
Don't hit driver.
Don't hit driver.
Do not hit driver.
I think I'm going to be hitting about 4 drivers.
I think you could probably handle driver on 1, but you definitely won't need it.
No.
And the big issue with Castleview is that it can get a little tight with respect to trees, especially coming in around the clubhouse in round 9 and 18.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit cautious of positioning.
I'll practice my pitch out, but yes,
practice your pitch out, or you got a deuce.
My 7 wood is going to get a lot of workout.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
Although it does get really windy out there, so I don't know how much you want to hit that going into the wind.
That's fine.
You're gonna flight it. You're gonna flight that bad boy.
That thing is solid, so I'm good with it. So. No 2-iron.
He says as he hits his 7 wood into the wind and it lands on the tee.
Look, I'm just happy to go out and play. So whatever I shoot, I
shoot.
Is
that one of those? I'm just happy to be here.
No, probably not. I say
I'm
that,
just happy to be here.
I felt like I played terrible last year, and I think I tied for 12th or something. And I did play terrible, in my mind. So my goal is all right, I better be better than that. Even though I should have no expectations based on how.
Just remember, plus 90 is a good score.
Thanks.
Just when you're looking at, I don't want you to get discouraged when you're looking at the scorecard and you see a lot of pluses. Look, that's a good thing.
I'll never be discouraged. I'll just, I'm happy to be there.
Discouraged is something I did when I was 17. Golf
discouraged.
Now I don't get discouraged anymore.
Now it's go play. And I know a lot of other players, a lot of players are in the same boat or whatever. So yeah, it's all good.
Well, enjoy it, Mr. McLeod. As much as I have enjoyed this conversation today.
All right. Let's get it done.
Thank you. Thanks to our sponsors, Metcalfe Golf Club, Falcon Ridge Golf Club, and our presenting sponsor, COBRA Golf with the all-new 3D printed irons featuring fully 3D printed club heads. These irons deliver unmatched blend of feel, forgiveness, and precision shaping that goes beyond the limits of traditional forging and casting. Experience the future of iron performance and get fit for Cobra's 3D printed irons today. Visit cobragolf.ca for more information. Hopefully you have been enjoying watching and hearing what we've been bringing to you today. Be sure to follow us across all of our social medias, of course, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Subscribe on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. And do not forget our YouTube channel. Like us and click the notification bell. Make sure you never miss a single episode of this great podcast or anything else we put up there. Head over to flagstick.com. More amazing golf content is delivered there every single day. Be sure to subscribe to the Flagstick Digest newsletter. Stay on top of things. Delivered to your inbox 3 times a week. And I love saying this. Be sure to pick up the latest edition of Flagstick Golf Magazine in print at your golf course somewhere throughout Eastern Ontario and the Outaouais region, and enjoy. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Until next week, I'm Jeff Potter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Remember, always go for the stick.